It sets the land and 7 seasons, centuries have passed, until the day a hero named Mariner claimed his task. Deep dark ending, we love to play video games, we'll keep playing until the early morning. Deep dark ending, we explain Martin Hayes' deep dark ending, we sell my girls and boys. As Mariner set off on his quest, he knew he needed a crew. The navigator joined the ranks and so did Mr. Q. Sailing for adventure, stories and for treasure. We will help you through, so climb aboard and join the crew. Deep dark ending, we love to play video games, we'll keep playing until the early morning. Deep dark ending, we explain Martin Hayes' deep dark ending, we sell the games and more.
Ahoy divers, welcome back to Deep Dive Gaming. I am the Mariner, doing something a bit different. Today we're going to take a look at Starship Simulator. This is the tech demo. Let me turn down the game volume a little bit. This is the tech demo, and I'm going to do the training module for a cold start. Because I think this exemplifies how this game is going to work, at least as far as I understand it. Ahoy Mojo.
Welcome to the Magellan-class Cold Start training module. My name is Ava. I'm the UN Space Fleet's AI voice assistant. In this module, we will review the correct procedure for starting up the ship's fusion reactor and then supplying power to the vessel. The ship is currently in a cold and dark state, so for your safety, I have taken the liberty of turning on your torch for you. To begin, follow the waypoints on your HUD to the lower floor of the reactor room.
And this is keyboard and mouse for right now. I don't know if controller integration will be added later. But yes, the ship is cold and dark.
As you can see, the reactor is offline, and none of the ship's systems are powered. Our first task is to provide power to the engineering decks, so let's make our way to the start capacitor's room. Follow the waypoints on your HUD to the startup distributor.
Let's see, I'm going to check my graphics settings. I'm sharpening. Ambient vision, blah blah blah. Motion blur on. There. Let's see how that works, because I was noticing some tearing as I was moving around. Ahoy,
As its name
Gazoo!
suggests, the startup distributor routes energy from the start capacitors to the engineering decks, and also provides the reactor with the power it needs to create the initial fusion reaction. You'll notice the device is already powered, because the start capacitors are fully charged. Let's go ahead and get some lights on by connecting all of the breakers. Start with the G-deck breakers, as indicated.
Yeah, I would automatically turning on VSync and turning off motion blur? Okay. I don't think we have that, so let's see. Vertical sync on. Okay, there we go. I don't know if it keeps my settings from playthrough to playthrough. What were we doing? Motion blur off. Okay. So we're gonna connect our breakers.
And now the F-deck. And finally, the reactor supply itself. Excellent. Now we can see what we're doing. You can go ahead and turn off your torch by pressing T. The reactor controls should now be online, so let's walk back to the reactor room and take a look.
Could also be that there isn't 4K support on this yet.
This console displays the reactor's vital information and provides you with full control over the reactor and its subsystems. On the left-hand side, we have the coolant section, which shows the liquid helium coolant flow and the condition of the magnetic field coils. On the right-hand side, we have the electrical section, which shows the reactor's main electrical bus, along with its input and output feeds. In the center, we have the reactor's main display, where we can control the fusion reaction itself. As you can see from all of these alarms, it would be impossible to initiate a stable fusion reaction under the current conditions, so let's fix that. The first thing we need to do is supply power to the reactor's internal bus, so go ahead and switch the reactor to startup mode by pressing the indicated button. Great. Now that the reactor has power, we can activate the vacuum pump to start purging the confinement chamber. The chamber pressure should now be dropping. To sustain a fusion reaction, we need an internal pressure of less than 10 nanopascals. While we wait for the confinement chamber to reach its target pressure, let's take care of the reactor's fuel and coolant supplies. Exit the reactor room via the door behind you, and follow the waypoints on your HUD to the
Cryogenic storage room. Sorry to interrupt.
These storage tanks hold all of the cryogenic fluids that are used to both fuel and cool the reactor. All 4 tanks are currently empty, so our first task is to begin the filling process. Let's start with the helium coolant. Head behind the storage tanks to access the helium cryocooler. The cryocoolers use a process called magnetic refrigeration to convert gas into a cryogenic fluid, before pumping it into the connected storage tank. Start up the helium cryocooler now by using the indicated control on its user interface. Excellent. Now if you turn around, you'll find the helium refill valve located on the back wall. These valves control the flow of gases harvested by the ship's gas collection hardware, which is located on the underside of the forward hull. Go ahead and open the helium supply valve. If you turn around again and inspect the display screen connected to the helium tank, you should be able to confirm that the tank is now filling with fluid. We now need to perform the same sequence of events for the other 3 tanks. Head over to the helium-3 cryocooler next. Helium-3 is the first of 2 fuels used in the fusion reaction. As before, power up the device using its user interface. And now open the helium-3 refill valve behind you to start filling its associated tank. Next, we need to start filling the 2 deuterium tanks, so let's head over to the other side of the room. Deuterium, also known as heavy hydrogen, is the second of the 2 fusion fuels. We store double the amount of deuterium compared to helium-3 because deuterium also fuels the reactor's neutral beam injectors. As before, turn on the first and now the first deuterium refill valve behind you. Next, turn on the second deuterium cryocooler. And now the second deuterium refill valve. Okay, perfect. All 4 storage tanks should now be filling with cryogenic fluids. For our next task, we now need to engage the cryopumps in order to start supplying the reactor with everything it needs. Make your way around to the other side of the tanks and locate the deuterium tank out. Open the deuterium outflow valve to begin supplying. Next, power on the pump itself using the button indicated on its user interface.
Aren't those valves
Excellent.
properly labeled?
That's half
They
of
are.
the fuel mix taken care of.
Deuterium
Now head over to the
supply
helium-3
A01,
tank outflow valve so we
deuterium
can
supply
complete the fuel
02.
supply.
I don't know why it's A01 here and 02 over here. Where do you see them not being labeled?
As before, begin by opening the helium-3 outflow valve. And now engage the helium-3 cryopump. Perfect. All we have to do now is take care of the coolant flow. Head over to the helium tank outflow valve. Now open the helium outflow valve. And finally, power on the helium cryopump. There we go. The reactor is now being supplied with all the fuel and coolant it needs. Follow the waypoints back to the reactor room, where we have just a few more valves to open.
On the wall valves, you can see those words under the word valve. Over here? Valve. See, those were under the word valve. Oh, okay. So you got HE for helium refill, HE3 for helium 3 refill. Same over here. I think it was D or DT. Yeah, D. Okay. There's plenty of room for improvements.
To complete the coolant loop, open the helium inflow valve to start flowing coolant through the magnetic field coils. Now make your way around to the opposite side of the reactor to complete the... First, open the deuterium inflow valve. And now open the helium-3 inflow valve. Okay, great. Let's head over to the reactor controls and take a look at the coolant display. As you can see, we now have coolant flowing into the reactor. This has begun the process of cooling down the magnetic field coils, which must reach temperatures below 20 Kelvin in order to become superconductive. Once the coils have reached their target temperature, you will be able... Okay, the temperatures look good.
Imagine I'm
You can
on
now
the
power
way
up the
back
field
from
coils.
10 floors, stumbling along, randomly hitting valves along the way. There's got to be some sort of safeties. So turn that on.
With a solid vacuum established, the field coils powered up, and fuel flowing into the reactor, you are now free to initiate the fusion reaction. Congratulations! You have now successfully started the fusion reactor. For safety, the reactor automatically starts up at only 10% of its rated power. This means high voltage systems, such as the FTL drive, will be underpowered until you increase the reactor output. Let's resolve that now. Increase the power level to 100% using the indicated controls. You'll notice that you can increase the power beyond 100%, but doing so for an extended period will overheat the reactor, causing damage and forcing an uncontrolled shutdown. Okay, we now need to provide power to the rest of the ship. With the reactor now powering itself, you can go ahead and switch the internal bus mode from startup to supply. Perfect. If we now head around to the opposite side of the reactor output distributor should now be powered up. This device distributes the reactor's output to the ship's high voltage systems, which are in fact the only systems powered directly by the reactor. The rest of the ship is powered by 48 individual battery arrays, which we now need to begin charging using the reactor's output. Go ahead and connect all 5 of the output breakers here. Excellent. If you turn to your left, you'll see the 5 high voltage distributors are now coming
Super of the
online.
ship, yeah.
Head over to the main battery distributor.
I'm interested to see how these come into play at some point, because you got sublight propulsion, all these main engines and RCS thrusters. You got weapon systems, shield systems, FTL systems. Those are all connected already.
This
And then you
device
got
takes the
main
high
battery
voltage reactor
distributor.
feed and distributes it to each of the 8 battery rooms on F deck. Go ahead and connect all 8 output breakers. Perfect. The battery arrays should now be charging, but we should perform a visual inspection to make sure. Follow the waypoints on your HUD to port battery room 1.
Hey computer, make it go. Here's a map of the deck, by the way. This is the F deck.
The electrical supply on Magellan-class starships is divided into 4 isolated quadrants: forward, aft, port, and starboard. For increased redundancy, each quadrant is powered by 2 physically isolated battery rooms just like this one. Should
Imagine
the
the
battery arrays in
batteries
one
will
room
be
cease to function for any
in
reason,
these slots.
the arrays in the second room will continue providing power to that particular quadrant. Similarly, power to one quadrant can be lost entirely, without impacting the supply to the remaining 3 quadrants. Okay, let's take a look at one of the individual battery arrays.
Oh,
On the left-hand side of the user interface, you have controls for managing the input and output breakers. And in the center, you have controls and information relating to this array's 10 solid-state battery cells. If we did everything correctly, all of the cells should now be slowly charging up. For the next step,
4.7,
we now need to connect each of the
4.8%.
8 battery rooms to the ship's electrical grid. This task will take us into the ship's labyrinth of maintenance tunnels, so be sure to watch your head. Each battery room has a corresponding battery aggregator, just like this one. These devices perform load balancing and also combine each room's 6 individual battery arrays into a single high-voltage feed. Go ahead and connect the output breaker now, which will connect this set of battery arrays to the ship's electrical grid. Okay, 1 down and 7 more to go. Next, head over to port battery As before, connect this aggregator's output breaker. That takes care of the port battery rooms. Let's make our way to the forward quadrant next. Go ahead and connect the output, and the same again on forward battery aggregator 2. Okay, onwards to the starboard quadrant.
All of these actually have 2 interfaces. That's why you'll see me pass these guys in here, because this one's already connected. This one says it's connected. But this one says it's not
Same
connected.
again. Connect, and the second starboard aggregator. Almost done. Just the aft quadrant to go. Connect up the... and finally the second aft aggregator. Okay, perfect. All 48 of the ship's battery arrays are now connected to the electrical grid. All we have to do now is supply power to the ship's remaining decks, and then perform a few cleanup tasks. We can do most of that from the reactor room, so let's head there now. Follow the waypoints on your HUD to the forward deck distributor.
This is G deck. At the reactor room, startup capacitors, workshop, life supports. Let's see, it's this way. A lot of those rooms are not filled with anything yet, as you can see.
Each deck in a given quadrant is fed by a deck distributor, which takes the total electrical load of that quadrant, and then load balances it
Jeff,
between
thank
the
you
2
for the
connected
donation.
battery aggregators. Go ahead and connect the output breakers for all 7 decks in this quadrant.
1 second, I want to see. I want to confirm that. Hang on, I'm looking around, I'm being a doofus. Give me just a second. Again. Keep up the entertaining videos. I will. Sorry it didn't show up on stream. Oh wait, maybe it did. Give me just a second here. Kofi. It's behind there, but I can't figure out why it's booked. As you can see, it's got the thing back there. Let's try transform tool. Boy, nope, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Let's see, 250. Nope. Reset. Oh no. Oh no. Why is it being like that? I may have to fix it later, I guess. I wonder if it shows up on one of these other guys correctly. Nope, it does not. Okay, we'll fix that after the stream. Where was I? There I am. Okay. But yes, thank you for that. Back to the game. Go ahead and connect distributors. Oops. Click, 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 and click.
Okay, now head over to the starboard deck distributor and do the same.
Oh, it did show? Okay. I didn't get any audio alert. Where am I going next? Oh, okay.
And now the aft deck distributor.
One of these buttons. There we go. Shift toggles the run.
And finally, the port deck distributor. Perfect. All quadrants on every deck now have power available from the ship's main battery arrays.
You need to run. Good choice.
You'll notice,
Got
however,
an
that the
alert
ship
that
is
came
still under
through on
emergency
both
lighting
chats. Not
conditions
sure about on
because
stream
F
now. Oh,
and
okay.
G decks are still using the start capacitor's supply. To resolve this, we simply have to switch the 4 quadrant distributors on F and G decks over to the main battery feed. Head over to the G deck forward quadrant distributor. Each deck has 4 of these devices, 1 for each quadrant. They are fed by the corresponding deck distributor. Go ahead and switch this quadrant over to the main battery feed. That's better. Now we can really see what we're doing.
Ooh.
Now head over to the starboard quadrant distributor and do the same. And now the aft quadrant distributor.
All this work to turn on the lights.
And finally, the port quadrant distributor.
It is very satisfying. Like, it makes sense why all this is
That's
here.
G deck taken care of. Let's do the same for F deck. Head upstairs to the F deck forward quadrant distributor.
Ooh. Didn't see that before.
As before, switch this to... And now the same on the starboard quadrant distributor.
There it is.
And again on the aft quadrant distributor. And finally, the port quadrant distributor.
Yeah.
Well done. That's
Even
the
has
main
fire
objectives of the cold
extinguishers.
start procedure complete. But we have one final bonus task to perform. Follow the waypoints on your HUD up to the bridge, and we'll make the ship flight ready.
So what I tried to do the first time I played is like, so we turned on F, G, and F decks. Can we turn on E deck? So I went up here, looked at this, and went, and they do work, but they borked. So I just went, okay. Now, the only other thing I didn't try and do was come up to, this is D deck, I think. So if you go, yeah, D deck. But there's no exit from here to the rest of the ship. So we have to go all the way back down. And this is only an early model layout of the ship. This is not the final product by any means. In fact, when we get to the bridge, I'll sit down in the helm or in the pilot seat and show you what you've been seeing on the screen grabs and whatnot on the internet, and talk about what I've been seeing with the layout. But we got like a 10 forward type galley here, or gallery. We got a lift and a spiral staircase. Sorry, the camera's all herky-jerky. Here, let me turn off run. I thought I turned it off. Oh, there's even crouch. Cool.
The lights and bridge systems are still turned off, so let's bring everything online. Head over to the ADEC distributor in the engineering alcove. Now go ahead and turn on the bridge lighting. And now power up the bridge systems. Okay, there we go. You have successfully started the fusion reactor, routed power to all of the ship's decks, and brought the bridge online into a flight-ready state. This concludes the Magellan-class Cold Start training module. Good luck, and I hope you'll join me again in future training modules.
The other training module is how to fly the ship, which I don't need to go into. What we're going to see is a manned ship when the majority of the ship systems are up and running. We can do that. So here's the... You can do third person if you want. You can do third person where you can pan around and look at your character. And then here's the ship. And you can zoom in and out. Like I said, this is not the final design. The saucer section will be elongated and it'll go up and down a little bit. And then there'll be a ring around the thing vertically for the FTL, and then some engine pods on the back. But what I like to do is sit in the chair, oops, and look at the space around the ship. Ooh, ah. And then what we can do, let's go ahead and exit to main menu, and then we'll do a new mission. Full crew, flight ready, launch. Okay, and oops. So there is no bridge crew yet. But if you come down this way, and then go, I think it's this way, down all these stairs. I've lost the button to walk slowly. F deck and around. So this is what rooms look like right now. See, we have crew member. Let's see. We have another crew member. We have some crew. Woohoo! Big empties. think there's supposed to be a lift somewhere, but it's not working. So we've got 30 minutes. Let's fly somewhere. The maintenance corridors that we saw down below, I think that's, so far, that's all we have. So if we sit here, we get to do some scanning. We can do, so our galactic position is there. If we go, let's see, oops, sit. We can go stellar region, that changes the perspective. So we got all the local stars. We've got star system, that'll show us our star system. We've got planetary system, unable to do yet, and then focus target, not yet. But we've also got range, so we can go 5 AU, 10 AU, 20 AU, 40 AU, and that gets us our whole star system. And if we go back to stellar region, we've got a list of things in range. We could go to Alpha Centauri, Barnard Star, Wolf 359. We can sort by star class, I guess. Apparently Sol and Alpha Centauri G class. Unique requests? Wasn't Wolf 35 space station? No, Wolf 359 was a star system in TNG where the Borg massacre occurred. So we've got some alternatives. Show all. Let's go to Alpha Centauri. Scan. And then we've got these planets. We've got some terrestrial planets we can investigate. Let's go ahead and go to the 1 AU planet. This is approximately where Earth would be. We can send these coordinates to the helm. Then we just walk over to the helm and have a seat. We can come over here. We can say use sensor target. That'll update the coordinates. Or we can manually enter coordinates if we want. We can engage auto navigation. That'll turn the ship up for us. And then we can go engage. And zoom, zoom, zoom. Whee! I was just gonna say officer. Shoom, bye bye, Sol system. Check out our speed here, 2.5 million C. But yeah, I like seeing this from external. Got the Sirius star system over there. Barnard star. Not much in the way of engine noise, but that's to be expected. is a small hum. The navigation never goes that would be lost like the crew of Voyager. Yeah. I think we're starting to slow down. Gas dwarfs, D-class star flies by. Figures the planet we go to is on the far side of the system. And we're back to 0 field power. You can fly, although the number pad works better for manual piloting. Let's see if we can get around to the light side of the planet here. Center. Okay. I need 10%. Putting on the imaginary brakes, you can't burn towards the plants. Let's try up in the field power some more. There we go. You want to be careful with this because it goes up rather fast, rather quickly. Okay, there we go. There. Big planet. If we set course away from it, let's try aiming a little bit further away. Engage. There we go. This gives you a good view of the ship too. Oops. Now that it's in daylight, it looks very basic. But you can, I like the fact that you can see yourself through the window. Seems to put into position our big planet really is. Yeah, indeed. So if we get up, let's see what's nearby. Oh, we can see our position. So scan. We got Sirius, Wolf 359. What I think a lot of people are doing is just picking a spot right now on the helm to go explore. Or picking a direction and saying go. What I like is there's nebulas. I've went over to that nebula checked it out. I haven't done much exploration. I'm just kind of flying around, seeing what I find of interest to fly towards. This would be really cool with some epic space music behind it. We don't have any right now. I don't think. Audio, music. There's no music yet. Well, what's neat is when the way they've generated the galaxy is if someone finds a point of interest in the galaxy they're exploring and they share the coordinates with someone else, that someone else can put in those coordinates and fly to that location and see the same thing, hopefully. Why is this being weird? Okay. But you can see, I think, the coordinates moving. Yeah. Because it's procedurally generated. I think, I don't remember the dimensions, but each sector has its own seed, but the seed is the coordinates for the sector, and so whatever's built, oops, we're getting in. So what's procedurally generated off that seed will be duplicated across multiple saves, I think. Let's see, is there anything cool? Let's see, I've already gone there. Let's go to the... Let's try one of the terrestrial planets. Where are we? And the demo is still available on Steam. In fact, they're going to update the demo once the Kickstarter is completed, which won't be too much longer now. Let's take a look here. 67 hours to go on the Kickstarter. They have earned over almost $430,000. Or, because this is based in England, 344,000 pounds. The next stretch goal was supposed to be like 380, so I don't think they're going to make it. But they have unlocked. Where is it? They have. Come on. They have unlocked native room scale VR support, shuttles and alien structures. Whoa, that's really close. Well, okay. Thought I chose a terrestrial planet, but I guess not. Let's try that again. Oh, come on. Oh, I forgot. Use sensor target. Engage. There we go. So yeah, shuttles and alien structures, planetary landings have all been unlocked. Other things they want to add was standalone ship versus ship combat, dedicated content team, first story-driven campaign, officially licensed standalone content. No, disengage. Disengage. No! Whew. Don't want to fly all the way to the planet's surface. So yeah, if we go, let's pick a direction and see if we find anything. We got a few minutes to go second start of the race, straight on until morning. Disengage, engage, max power. There are black holes and whatnot available for investigation. I don't know where any of them are. Oh, actually, let's go towards this nebula that's down here. Okay. See, and then clear target. Come over here, clear target. Actually, I don't. Hey, whatever. Wahaha. Funnily enough, black holes kind of scare me. Never met one, but they scare me anyway. Yeah. Why is there a navigation target? That's weird. We're at max speed. At some point, I imagine we could put these. Oh, there we go. Can choose target coordinates. So X, Y, and Z coordinates. If we set those all to 0, I don't know if we go to planet galactic center. Did you ever clear your last nav target when you first took off, or is that even? I don't think that's. I set a new nav target, and then we got whatever's happening here. Clear target. I don't think you can clear your nav target though. You can scan targets. There we go. That does it. Oh, the nav target is okay. So 000 is the center of the galaxy. So we are currently flying towards the center of the galaxy. HIP 71253. Lots of HIPs and NN. I don't know what any of it stands for. HIP or NN. Wolf 424A. Ooh. I've got an idea. Let's engage autopilot. Send it straight through. Let's see if it's Spock's brother was right. Yeah. There is the possibility of getting to the center of the galaxy, but it's gonna take a while. Oh, check this out too. Reactor available power 1.21 gigawatts. What the heck is a gigawatt? I know what a gigawatt is. I'm just quoting the movie. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anything interesting happening? Let's see. Tomorrow night, Mojo and I are going to be playing Baldur's Gate. So come check us out. Oops. Looks like Frenchie's actually going to be... Actually, I think she's streaming now. So we'll be sure to raid her. She unfortunately is only on Twitch, so anyone watching on YouTube, you'll have to go over to Twitch and check out French Fry Toast. And you can see this nebula is getting more defined as we get closer. GJ1154A, interesting. So, one thing that the dev mentioned, I forget where, at the maximum speed the ship is capable of, you can cross it will take 2 weeks to cross the galaxy. So the fact that we're like there and the center of the galaxy is there and the edge of the galaxy is over here, I would say if we were to actually fly towards the center of the galaxy, it would take us a week of real time to do it. So we're not going to do that tonight, obviously. Might pick a star to check out. GJ, I want to see what that is actually. Let's do that. GJ. Send helm. Use sensor target. Screech. Metal grinding and twisting. Thankfully we have, what's it? I'm assuming there's inertial dampers in the ship. So we're working on some of this good stuff. Nice. Actually, as we get closer, we'll hit the brakes and we'll see what's here and pick a planet to investigate and then call it a night. Excuse me. I'm targeting 28 seconds. We'll wait till about 5 seconds and then hit the brakes. There we go. Disengage. What do we got? GJ. Scan. Let's pick that one. I imagine there's a way to do this without jumping between the two consoles, but I haven't figured it out yet. We're really far away from the star still. 8.1 light years from the stellar core? That's weird. Do we have the same... Are we even in the same star system anywhere? Huh. Oh, whoops. We left this star system. We're heading for this star system. Whoopsie doodle. It's not that far away though. Navigating in this game is going to be a little tricksy. At least to start out with. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden. And stop. Cool. Alright, I'm going to end it here, guys. Hope I have enough biogel for the replicators for as losses I would get. Yeah. Alright, so yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to park and I'm going to send you guys over to French fried toast. So until tomorrow night, thank you for watching, hanging out with us, all the jazz. Fair ones and fun gaming, y'all. Bye-bye.